I'm going to send you live, and while you're doing a little intro, I will share the link.
Okay.
All right, going live in 3, 2.
And welcome, SFL Nation, to Houston, Texas, the site of today's game between the Houston Hyenas and the four-time champs, Queen City Corsairs. And we're at Hyena Dam Park Stadium for the second preseason game of today. Hello, everyone. I am T. Roy Gaines, and with me is special guest commentator, the commissioner of the SFL, Cameron Irvine. And Commish, how's everything going, sir?
Switching roles a little bit, huh, T-Roy?
Yes, I am. I'm not used to this role, so this will be interesting.
Well, it's all good. I'll be your partner in crime today, and you know it's a classic matchup. These two teams know each other well, and the final tune-up, one of the final tune-ups left here in this busy preseason weekend.
Yeah, and Houston is one of the teams this preseason that's playing two. They played last night, lost a very close one to New Orleans, almost made the comeback. We'll see if they can even their preseason record with 1-1, while Queen City is, of course, getting their first tune-up of the game. They won the toss, and looks like they'll be kicking off.
Yeah, Houston suffered a loss last night in New Orleans. In fact, T-Roy, there's not been a single road team that has won a game this preseason. If you can believe that, we'll see if Houston can shake off the rust here at home today.
All right, and Ricky Matthews, the kicker and the punter, will kick it off, and here we go. It's game time. And the return is taken up to the 30-yard line. And Houston will start us off today. We got the quarterback, Kentez Johnson, the third-season vet. At running back is Warren Murray. Wide receiver is Leroy Brown. And my traditional broadcast partner, DR Sim, also at wide receiver. It's 1st and 10 here for Houston at their own 31. And Kent says look like he's making some changes at the line here. He got two backs behind him. Warren Murray is going to go out to his right. The pass is to him, and he gets about 1 yard, 2nd and 9.
I tell you what's so important and becoming increasingly more important to these SFL defenses is linebackers that can move laterally, get from sideline to sideline, and make those tackles on those running backs in the open field. Defenses that can do that have a distinct advantage for sure.
Let's see. It looks like Kentez got trips to his left. Warren Murray to single back. And the handoff is to Murray, the second touch, and he gets stuffed right away. Great job by Mr. Avery King at linebacker.
It's tough sledding for these running backs in the preseason. They don't necessarily have all the blocking schemes down, and in general, offense is usually scoring a little less than usual, and still trying to get things worked out.
And we'll see what Kent has to do here on 3rd and 9. He fires in the middle, and it's caught for a first down. Great pass, great dot. It looks like that is Josh Fedd who got fed the ball there on that play, Cameron.
Yeah, Josh Fedd stepping up. Of course, Leroy Brown had a huge end to his season last year in Houston, and it was awesome to see. They've kind of gone away from the tight end a bit here, so a little bit of a different Houston offense this season.
All right, and Kansas making an adjustments at the line. Speaking of Leroy Brown, he had 870 yards receiving, 6 touchdowns last season. But here comes Warren Murray, who has a big hole but gets stuffed right away. But a nice 6-yard gain. And I know that's what Leroy Brown wants to see to continue his progress from last season. We had his best season of his career, Cameron.
Yeah, and you know, Kentez and this Houston offense, they're looking for a bounce-back season after they really surprisingly struggled a lot last year after making back-to-back semifinals.
And here's the toss to the back, out to Warren Murray again, but he gets stuffed right away by Farrell Rings. And it's now 3rd and 7. Let's go over the defensive stars for Queen City. We got Jeff Duffy and Kyrie Hansen, the rookie at defensive end. Avery King, inside linebacker. The corners are Tanner Hendricks and Farrell Rains. The safeties are Achilles Frank and Nacho Sicario. It's 3rd and 7. Trips to Kent's left, and he looks Fires it off. Out route is complete to the Hall of Famer DR Sim for a first down. A nice start to the drive in comparison to last night's game, Cam.
Yeah, I love what I'm seeing out of Kentez right now. He's spreading the ball around. He's hit Murray in the flats. He's hit Fed. He has hit Sim, and I think there's one more I might be missing already. But Kentez really doing a great job spreading the ball around and keeping this offense moving into Queen City territory.
All right, 1st and 10 for Houston's. Handoff goes to Murray again. He runs to his left. Nice hole. Gets 8 yards on that carry for the 4-year vet.
Keeping up with everybody in the chat. That Imp guy, Carrion Miller, Nightwing Zoner, Carolina Skyhawks, I'm effing problem. Nightwing Zoner saying I'm sounding a bit ASMR-ish. I guess I'm a little bit more chill than I am when I'm calling play-by-play.
Hey, get to be in relaxed mode today. But thank you for joining me here in the booth. And here comes Warren Murray. Gets the toss to his left, able to move the pile and get the first down. And very impressive drive and impressive carry by Warren Murray.
And this is something we've seen a lot out of Murray over his career, his ability to fall forward. Even when he's only picking up 2 to 3 yards, you rarely see him getting blown up back in the backfield. You can really make something out of nothing, better than most.
Yes, he has. And it's now 1st and 10. Kentez looks, fires. Great catch, able to fit in between 3 Queen City defenders to the Hall of Famer DR Sim. And it's now, they're now in the red zone after that completion.
That defender who will not be named, watch this guy come in here. What are you doing? Back towards the ball. And look, Kentez recognizes that. If any time you see a defender's back towards the football, throw it that direction. There's no way they're going to be able to catch up to the missiles that Johnson's throwing.
And Johnson just not turned the ball over. Imagine how great Houston's offense is going to be, how scary they're going to be. It's 1st and 10 on Queen City's 17-yard line. And Kentez looks, fires, incomplete that time. Nice pat down by the Queen City linebacker, making this a 2nd and 10.
Great job by Sicario, all over the back of the defender. Didn't get a PI called, but blanket coverage there forces, I believe, the first incomplete pass of the day for Kentez, and trying to stall out in the red zone here. Queen City's defense trying to make a play.
See if they can do that here. I formation behind Kentez. Looks like it's going to be a run, and it is. Up the middle, but it gets stuffed right away. It looks like it's the rookie, Kyrie Hansen, who helped out on the tackle there, Cam.
Yeah, Budden was there too. He made that initial stop on that swing pass to the outside. So now it's 3rd and long for Houston, really for the first time today. It's already been nearly a 5-minute drive. They'd like to come away with 6 here.
And Kentez needs to make sure he doesn't turn the ball over so they can guarantee points here on this drive. 3rd and 11. He drops back the pass. Fires it to the end zone. It is caught for a touchdown. What a catch. And that is Leroy Brown able to get the toe drag swag.
Bad Leroy Brown in the back of the end zone is, I would say, get those toes in, son. And just look at this catch, the concentration. He sees the boundary. He stops, turns around, and he's fortunate that there was no Corsair around him because that otherwise might have been picked off as that was sailing a little low. But all alone, and the home cooking continues. The kind of bizarre home cooking continues here in the preseason.
Yeah, as you mentioned earlier, every home team has one, and Houston looks like they want to continue that. We have David Griffin's about to make the extra point, and it is good, and it's 7-0. Great start for Houston. And Cameron, if Kentez continues this hot streak, he has the potential to return to his season 11 form. We threw over 3,000 yards that year in comparison to last season.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Houston mixes some new pieces, particularly on defense. Eddie Gage got a big haul when he got Mike Fats Johnson and Anthony Wyo added to the defense, and a lot of people feel like they're going to be an even bigger force on that side of the ball than they've been. But the question marks for Houston fall on the offensive side of the ball. They certainly answered them on that first drive. Looked smooth.
Yeah, looked real smooth. Only blemish was an incomplete pass, and they will take that all day. And here comes A.J. Claswell, the quarterback for Queen City. He has a new running back in the backfield. That is Jared Willis from Chicago, and he hands it off to Willis and gets stuff after a 2-yard gain on the 29-yard line. And the other star players will be Chris Curtis and Stephen Hacker at wide receiver. James Matthew Jr., the rookie, tied in. Those are your star players for Queen City.
I'm just getting roasted in the chat, T-Roy, for being as calm as I am. I just don't think people are familiar with it. They don't know what to do.
Yeah, see, I'm still not used to you being the color guy with me, and I appreciate it. 2nd and 8. Jared Willis gets the ball again. Better hold, but gets taken to the shadow realm by number 35, Anthony Weil. Let's talk about Houston's defense. We got Anthony Weil at safety. You mentioned Mike Batch Johnson. Those two teammates came from Las Vegas. Chad Tackles, D tackle. BJ Lovis, Rodney Panini are the linebackers. Aiden Davis, the rookie. And Garrison, the cornerbacks. And Eddie Gage and Weil, of course, at safeties. And we already got a sack there. It'll be 4th and 8. Great job by the Houston defense. That's Mike Batch Johnson with the sack.
And Mike got limited playing time last night. They were trying to rest him up. This Houston team playing back-to-back games, obviously trying not to play everybody too significantly. But Johnson just muscles his way in there, and that's what we're talking about. With Johnson and tackle on the line, it's just going to be a problem for opposing offenses, and Queen City's got to punt it away.
All right, and this is Ricky Matthews back to punt at his own 29-yard line. Good hang time right now. And here's the return by Fed. And he gets stopped at the Houston 40-yard line. And Cameron, Houston, you just talked about earlier, they finished with a 3-9 record after making the semifinals the past 2 seasons. What do you believe Houston has to do to, as the mom likes to say, heat up and catch fire and return to the mountaintop of the SFL?
I think they just got to get Leroy Brown going earlier in the season. I think once they got him to be a lethal force opposite of DR Sim, it just opened up a lot of things for this offense.
And now it's a 3-yard gain by Warren Murray. You see his average currently is 2.3 yards per carry, but as we mentioned before, he's keeping falling forward and helping Houston get a better down distance here. But right now, 2nd and 7. We got 4 minutes left in this game, in the first quarter. No backs in the backfield. Kentess is all alone here. And he drops back to pass, fires to his left, and is picked off, unfortunately, for Houston. Great job by Queen City to get the pick and put the stop on this drive. The offense will get back on the field. That was Tanner Hendricks, the free agent from the Charleston Predators.
And a great job by Hendricks here. He takes kind of a risky maneuver, turns his back, almost like he was in Houston's back pocket and reading the play, knew that Brown would be going on a go route, and Hendricks was in perfect position to make the play. Nice play for his first time in a black and white uniform.
And Caswell goes back to pass and fires to his running back, Willis. And unfortunately, the momentum carry out of bounds. That's a 2-yard loss. They were probably better off of him not making that catch, unfortunately. But it's now 2nd and 12. Willis is known as the E-back, formerly from Chicago, replacing a legendary running back in Ashley Olam, who went to Chicago.
Yeah, it was interesting seeing that transaction. Ash Odom had some tremendous seasons in Queen City. They decided to make a change, and that's going to be one of the biggest storylines this season, is seeing how Willis can adapt to this Corsair running system.
And he'll get the handoff here, but gets stuffed right away by B.J. Lovelace. Another 1-yard loss, and it's going to be a 3rd and long. Not the situation that Queen City wanted to be in here in Houston.
I didn't know B.J. could run that fast. He got in the backfield quick. I mean, if you're Jared Willis, you can't really fault yourself. He had no chance.
Yeah, he came out like a bullet there. Caswell fires, and it's incomplete. It will be 4th down. Great job by number 27 of Houston, be able to get the pat down and put the end of this drive after unfortunate turnover.
Eddie Gage probably out there going, you had to put some respect on my name, calling me number 27. He against Elgin Villanueva is not a good matchup for Queen City. Was right there in perfect position to make the play, swatting the ball down towards midfield, and it's all Hyenas here in the first.
Yeah, better result this game in comparison to last night. Eddie Gage, of course, the 11th season vet, making a great play. Here's the punt by Matthews, going to Fed. Nice hang time, and he gets to the Houston 40. Decent return as Houston will march back on the field. And here's Kentez Johnson leading his troops. There, unfortunately, last night's game, it was those two costly pick six by Kentez that unfortunately was the difference for New Orleans winning that game, besides Logan Jack having the monster day. If Kentez can clean it up, they will be a force on offense. Kentez drops back and fires. And he fumbles after he makes the catch.
Whoa, who's got it?
But it was recovered, so it'll be a 7-yard gain. Good job by the lineman.
Wow.
I can't believe. I'm be surprised if they don't challenge it. Yeah, it should be challenged. It didn't look like him that he made that football move after the catch there.
It happened quick. He did turn around to almost get upfield. I don't know if you'd call that a football move. Here, we'll get a great angle. I don't think so, T-Roy. I just don't think that he had it long enough.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but we'll see what Ref 62 will say here.
After review, the receiver did have possession. It is therefore ruled a fumble. The American
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it gets Queen City 7 yards back. It's kind of, if I was the coach, I probably would have let it go. But Eric Barkley being a little bit stingy with Damon Simeon here this afternoon.
Yeah, he is. But hey, they definitely, if they can stop him here, they can switch the field position, so I can sort of see where Queen City is going there. But good challenge by them. It's now 2nd and 10. Kentez drops back to pass and gets sacked right away. Held on the ball a little bit too long, and that allowed Queen City to make the sack.
That's Jeff Duffy coming over, showing his swag to Kentez. Kentez didn't really appreciate that, but both teams getting some pressure early on the quarterback, and that's good to see. Defensive line in midseason form right now.
And that was 6'5", 300-pounder making that sack. Kentez don't want to be hit like that from that guy again. He drops back to pass on 3rd and 12, and it's unfortunately caught out of bounds. DR Sim couldn't get 1 foot in, unfortunately, and that'll be the end of this drive.
I'd be interested to see what read Kentez was looking at deep down the field out of real estate.
And Brian Adams is back to punt for Houston. Great job by Queen City's defense. We'll see what the special teams can do here. And he gets stuffed right away. And Queen City will take over at the 28-yard line. You know what, Cam? I said this for almost a full year now here in the SFL. If you notice that you can't make any progress as a special teamer, wave your hand in the air, get a fair catch, keep yourself from either getting a butt with them or causing a turnover.
I think there's a lot of double dog daring going on out there on that field, and that's why you don't see it that much.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I formation for Caswell. He hands it off to Jarrett Willis. He goes up the gut, breaks a tackle, and gets the first down. Good job by Jarrett Willis. Taking it to the 39-yard line, Queen City. Aiden Davis, the rookie, with the stop on that play.
Willis showing some strength here, muscles through. Who did he get through first? That was Everett Garrison, the rookie of the year last year. Davis making a nice form tackle. Wasn't going to let him get away and have his first highlight of the preseason, or first of this game, rather, be a bad one.
And Willis is a monster. He ran for over 1,000 yards for the first time in his career last season. Almost reached 1,200, by the way. A.J. Caswell making changes at the line here. It's in 1st and 10 on Queen City's 39-yard line. A minute 26 left in the first quarter. And it's a handoff to Willis again. This time only for a 2-yard gain. Great job by the defense. And I believe Eddie Gage and Weil was a part of that tackle there.
Weil, another new piece to this defense. The defense with a few new pieces on this squad, and that shows that Houston was, even though they had a nice defensive season, Houston not getting complacent, wanting to make things even tighter.
And Caswell fires off the Willis, and guess who makes the tackle? It's Garrison on that play. Good job by Houston, making sure this is a 3rd and long. And Cam, let me tell you about that number 35. In week 2 of last season, it was 35 on 35 crime that took place in Wild took a certain running back from Baltimore to the Shadow Realm, and man, that wasn't pleasant.
Oh man, that sounds dark.
It's dark and lonely in there, Cam. 3rd and 6 for Queen City. Caswell drops back to pass and fires to his right, out route, but incomplete. Great job on the pat down. Jag tackle with the pressure. And unfortunately, Queen City couldn't do anything with this drive here. It's 4th and 6 for him.
I think that was Davis out there getting the swat away. So while Houston has not been able to take advantage of their fast start, Queen City is stalling out. They haven't crossed midfield. We haven't seen hardly anything out of Chris Curtis and some of these weapons in the passing game. Caswell really off to a slow start.
And here's a punt by Matthews, almost blocked. And they finally called a fair catch. Thank you, Josh Fedd, for listening to me. 1st and 10, we got 14 seconds left. Here in the first quarter, that's been dominated by the Houston Hyenas defense and a great opening drive by the offense.
And knowing what I think might happen, or having some little bit of inside information from Queen City, I think Queen City wants to open up the offense a little more. Last season, they got it together late, but they felt like they missed some opportunities at some new styles early in the season, and that was a detriment as Avery King wraps up Murray.
Just a no-yard gain there. Good job by Queen City's defense. That should be the end of the first quarter. Avery King again with the tackle. And that is indeed the end of the first quarter. And this is a 7-0 game by Houston. You are watching the SFL Network live on our SFL YouTube channel. Stay tuned. And before we get this playoff, Cam, we do have 2 new sponsors, and I'm loving Sector 6's sponsorship there. I can't wait to get my hands on the new hoodie. And we got a toss to the left. Warren Murray gets about 4 yards. It's 3rd and 6.
Didn't want to cut the play off, but yeah, Sector 6, I know that a handful of teams have started working with them. We'll probably start that process officially Monday or Tuesday of next week, and I can't wait to see what these teams come up with. And I've already alerted Sector 6 that if Tim Johnston tries to give them logos that weren't part of their branding, then it won't happen. He likes to slide in a bunch of stuff. He likes to be sneaky. Look at that throw.
But he makes the catch. What a throw, in spite of the fact that he got hit as soon as he got rid of the ball. Great job by Quintez, able to thread the needle and convert here on that 3rd and long. Greg Norris, the 6'4" receiver, makes the catch.
That was one of the best throws I've ever seen Quintez make. I mean, he was falling backwards, and he really had to just put it right on the numbers, and he did so.
And hand off to Warren Murray to his right. Nice hold there. Got the first down. Almost looked like he was about to take it to the house if it weren't for Avery King making the tackle there. But here's the replay.
Watch Murray at the end of this run. Great kick-out block. But watch him get turned around and take on the challenge of King. I'm still going to move you forward despite you tackling me from the other direction. Murray just such a tremendous asset to this Houston offense. And after Darnell Black and a few other running backs came through here, Murray has really been the stable force in the backfield.
Yeah, he's only 218 pounds. He moved the heavier Avery King there to make sure he gets more yards there. 1st and 10 for Houston. And Quintez fires it to Murray, who's able to get back to the line of scrimmage there.
That one's on Murray. Quintez doing a nice job stepping up in the pocket. Murray looked like he had some room to run, but he kind of got stuck in quicksand there. By the time he got rolling, Farrell Raines and company was all over him. But Quintez still, I believe, with just 1 or 2 incompletions here in the first half, has been excellent.
Yes, he has, and it's now 2nd and 10. I formation as Murray gets the handoff. Gets stuffed immediately. Avery King apparently didn't like the fact that he got carried earlier in the possession. Makes the stop here and makes this a 3rd and long.
And I know you love the running backs, T-Roy, but you got to give it up for some linebackers, man. What a beautiful open field tackle by Avery King. If he doesn't make that play, Murray rips that for at least 15.
That is definitely true. Avery King's coming to play today. 3rd and 8. Quintez drops back to pass. He's going to fire to his left, and it is caught by D.R. Sim for a 1st down. Stopped by Terry Hendricks, but not after he made that great catch as he climbed the ladder.
This is the Quintez that Houston needs. We're going to get the look from Sims' vantage point as the double move works on Hendricks to create some separation. But Quintez was under duress again. It wasn't like he got hit as he threw, but his window to throw that pass was affected. Just an absolute on-the-money ball from Quintez Johnson.
Yeah, it's now 1st and 10 on Queen City's 31. Warren Murray gets the toss, and he's taken to the right. Great job by him. It looks like he could potentially got tackled for a loss, and he turned that into an 8-yard gain.
That's some old-school football, T-Roy. Man, they got blocks on blocks on blocks out there to make something out of nothing.
Yeah, that kind of reminded me of the old counter trade that a certain team on the No Fun League in D.C. used to run consistently. Great play there. It's now 2nd and short. Quintez looked like he's making some changes at the line there. And it's an inside handoff to Warren Murray again. Tries to do a spin move, but unfortunately gets stopped right away. You see his average there, his carries, is 13 carries for just 38 yards, but he's still moving forward. And it'll be a 3rd and short.
He got too cute there, but more importantly, 13 carries. We got 7 minutes to go in the first half still. Queen City's offense has barely been on the field. This defense has got to be getting tired.
And it's now 3rd and short. He was able to carry. I thought he was going to be tackled for a loss. But he carried it to the 21-yard line for a 1st down. Great job by the 6'2", 218-pounder there to move the chains.
An exhausted Queen City defense cannot make the tackle in the backfield. Murray churns the legs and keeps the drive moving. He might get a 15th carry here.
Yeah, it looks like it. They're going to surprise us here. And it's the 15th carry for Murray, but he gets stopped for a 1-yard loss. And I know Queen City is looking kind of frustrated that they've been on this field. They got to find some way to stop them and get off this field.
Blue Tiger in the chat saying, I thought Houston just played yesterday. Don't worry, all the players are getting a bonus and some nice medication from our brilliant SFL doctors.
Quintez drops back to pass, and Murray's wide open, makes the catch, put a spin move, able to make one man miss before he gets stuffed on the 16-yard line. They in the red zone. It's now 3rd and 5. We'll see if they can convert again.
He put Farrell back in the tomb on that one. He just went flying right into that box. What a nice play from Murray. It sets up a 3rd and manageable here for Houston.
Now Murray's taking a break, and looks like it's the aforementioned Darnell Black in the backfield, and he'll get the carry, and he moves a little forward, moves the pile forward, but he gets 2-yard gain, and that'll be 4th and 3. It looks like we got a field goal attempt coming up, Cam.
Yeah, I don't like that play call. In fact, I think that was Black who got the carry because Murray was tired. With Quintez playing as well as he's been playing on a 3rd down and 5, I'd trust him to make a right throw. Houston's defense gets the stand as Houston's offense got a little too conservative there, but it's preseason after all.
Yeah, but I do agree with you. You want to get Quintez's confidence up as they get ready to start week 1 next week. Field goal is good, a 30-yard attempt by David Griffin. And this is still a one-sided affair here in this first half of only less than 5 minutes left in the half, Cam.
Yeah, I need to see more out of the Queen City offense. We just haven't been able to get any good looks at them. They need to find a way to get the passing game going because they've had nothing down the field, and it can't all be on Willis. That's not the way that Eric Barkley wants his team to run.
Yeah, they got all 3 of their receivers for Queen City is no shorter than 6'5", so they should definitely take advantage of that as Queen City able to get the return to the 29-yard line. Decent field position there. Davio Sanchez was the returner on that play.
Well, T-Roy, we are 6 days away from opening night. Can I have another week? I need another week to prepare.
Well, you're the commish. You can do whatever you want.
I don't think I could do that. I think people would be pretty upset.
I understand that. And here's the handoff. Jared Willis had to cut back to his right, but gets taken to the shadow realm by Anthony Wild once again.
Wild's been putting some licks on out there today.
Yes, yes. Somebody forgot to tell Anthony this is a preseason, not the regular season. He don't care, though. He likes to light up running backs.
You know Wild's got no chill.
He definitely does not. 2nd and 7. Split backs behind Caswell. It's an inside handoff, but nothing doing. Great job by the rookie, Aiden Davis, helping his team make that combo tackle, making this a 36.
Aiden Davis is just about everything you want in a rookie, isn't it, T-Roy? I mean, they got a guy that is just in love with the city, in love with the community, and you know he's going to be here for a really long time. You can't ask much more than that.
No, you can't. And that's a strange play, an outside pitch that goes nowhere. Eddie Gage and number 31, who actually made a pick 6 in yesterday's game, Chad Foxwell, puts the end to this drive here. And once again, they don't go to their receivers on this play, Queen City, and that's a head scratcher right now.
What kind of play was that? On 3rd and 6 with a veteran like Caswell back there? I don't know if they're just wanting to get this is possible, wanting to get Willis as many different types of touches as possible to get him working in this new offense. Of course, Queen City having one of the last preseason games of the week, having to turn right around and play in 7 days against the London Knights. Maybe they're just looking at this as, you know, we really don't need to see what the passing game has. We know what that has. We need to see what Jared Willis can give us in this offense.
Yeah, maybe they are just holding back. I mean, we are seeing that these playbooks, for those who may not know, they're just using default playbooks, and maybe they're just holding back and making sure that London doesn't scheme or be well prepared for them in week 1 as Kentez Johnson drops back and fires to his fullback this time. He makes the catch and gets about 3 yards. You see, look at that. 0-0-0 for A.J. Caswell. Strange.
That's crazy. And Coach Barkley, I don't know, you see him on the sideline, I think he thought he was going to get his ankle rolled up on. He got out of the way quick.
You see, the SFL, we're savages out here. Even the coaches cannot feel like they're safe. I think even my coach got ran over on the first game of the preseason there. As Kentez Johnson backs the pass and fires a nice pass in between 2 defenders, but it doesn't matter. Leroy Brown makes the catch.
Wow. Look at this dime. Right in between. Reigns and Sicario got there a little late. But see, he put that ball on the inside shoulder. If Johnson puts that ball on the outside shoulder that's deflected or picked, right in the exact place he needed that ball to go, what a throw.
This is a great game by Kentez so far. He's definitely over 100 yards now as he tosses it to Murray, goes to his right. Got a great hole. It looks like he can take it to the house. Oh, he gets stopped just short of the end zone. Stopped at the 3-yard line. Great play by Warren Murray, who looks like he could have took the house to 6.
A nice little, not a reverse play, but it looked like it might have been going the other way. And Queen City, for the 3rd time in this game, is backed up into the end zone here, trying to make a play, trying to get a stop. They got a field goal on the last drive. We'll see if they can keep it a 2-score game.
Looks like it could be another Warren Murray special right here. And it is. Hand off to Murray, goes up the gut, but gets stuffed right away. It'll be 2nd and goal. Now his average gone up to 3.7.
What do you think the best play of the preseason so far has been, T-Roy? My vote would go to Bishop Warfield on the fade that was knocked around by was bobbled around by him and the defender, and he eventually caught it. You know what I'm talking about?
That was spectacular because I actually was out as a receiver on that play, so I saw it firsthand. He made a spectacular catch. Great concentration there. But I actually like Logan Jack's long touchdown run from yesterday's game, unfortunately, against my broadcast partner's team here, as it's now 3rd and goal as Murray gets stuffed. But, yeah, that play by my teammate Bishop Warfield was amazing to watch.
I want to see Johnson throw here. Last 3rd and 5, they ran it. 3rd and goal from the 6. Tight corners. Johnson has struggled with turnovers, not only yesterday in the preseason, but all last season. I really want to see what he can do here. I think Brown's in the slot and Sims at the bottom of your screen with some space.
And he will throw it here. Ashton, you shall receive. He goes to fullback, but he drops the ball.
That was a touchdown.
It sure was. Allen had 6 in his sights, and maybe he was too excited, and he just took his eyes off the ball.
What a nice play design. I mean, that was beautiful. Right now, I'm sure there's some coaches. In the last second, you got 8 more hours to submit your playbooks, and they're going, hey, what was that? What was that play right there? Because that fullback was wide open. And for the teams that have a star fullback on their roster, that could be a lethal play in the red zone, but Allen couldn't hold on.
The 22-yard field goal attempt is good. Talking about star fullbacks, probably the 3-time champions probably took notes and say, look, we got J.W. Doyle. We might use that play. And speaking about the running back exchange we talked about earlier with Queen City and Chicago exchanging running backs, how about Alaska and OKC exchanging their star running backs? Jason Williams now the starting running back at Queen City, and J.W. Doyle take over Williams' spot in Alaska.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever had an off season where teams exchange running backs, and then it happened twice. It was a very interesting change because J.W. Doyle was one of the few people that actually said, all right, sure, I'll go chase a 4th championship in Alaska. A lot of players, they look at Alaska as the enemy, not that they don't want to be the enemy, they want to beat the enemy, and Doyle took that spot in Alaska, so we'll see how that plays out.
And this is the first pass I've seen in a while to Chris Curtis that gets deflected by B.J. Love, his 2nd and 10. So you saying that J.W. Doyle may have Kevin Durant huh?
Well, I'm just saying that he was not in the norm of the thinking of the rest of the players in the league this offseason. I think a lot of players have made decisions and put themselves in a position to where they want to be on the team that beats Alaska. I don't blame them.
And we'll see what happens on this drive. And see if we can finally stop Alaska, keeping them from four-peating. But inside handoff to Willis, and it goes nowhere. It's 3rd and long. And maybe Queen City is trying to at least melt the clock and help end this drive and go into halftime.
It must be written in Caswell's contract that he can't throw a pass in the preseason. What are they doing? On 3rd and 10, they got to throw now here, right? You would think.
You would think, and he is. It's 3rd and 10. He fires to his right. And Chris Curtis with the catch. And they'll call a timeout. But finally, they get out to their 6'5" receiver, Mr. Chris Curtis.
All that NyQuil Queen City was feeding Houston put him to sleep and got him caught napping. Eddie Gage was the only man that ever had a chance to play Chris Curtis down the field. Avoids giving up the touchdown, but Houston caught sleeping thinking it was going to be another run.
And now, for the first time, Queen City has crossed over Houston's side of the field. We'll see if they can at least get 3 points here, but it looks like it could be another run. Caswell's actually making changes at the line here. 46 seconds left here in the first half. And Caswell looks, throws, fires to the E-back, Jarrett Willis. The momentum carried him backwards, but he still got 3 yards out of that, and they're going to run hurry up.
Look at everybody tight on the line here.
Yeah, they are. It looks like Willie throw the middle. He's still holding the ball. Get rid of the ball. Oh, he gets sacked right away. Not calling a timeout, which is strange, but maybe they're going to concede to the halftime here. It's 3rd and 12.
Linebacker does a nice job getting out on Willis. Took away Caswell's reads.
Pump fakes, fires, Caswell frozen. It's picked off. Great job by Houston putting the ends to that drive.
Is that Hutchinson out there? Yeah, Hutchinson making the play for Houston. And Caswell's under duress. He really, I mean, that's just bad play design. They got in a formation you really would not want to get into for no huddle. They probably should have burned a timeout earlier. And it soils what was starting to become a promising drive. And Houston's got one, maybe two plays here to get off before the half.
And we'll see what they do here. 9 seconds left in the first half. Quintez steps back to pass, but gets stuffed right away. If I was Houston, I'll just call it the half there. No, they're not.
Throw a Hail Mary.
Could we see a potential season 11 Quintez to DR Sim type Hail Mary again?
Throw it up there. Hey, a trivia question. You know who that was against? You remember?
Was it against this same team?
No.
Who was it against?
I wonder if anybody in the chat remembers.
Oh, I guess I do remember the play. I forgot the team, unfortunately. And I think didn't that end up being play of the year for a play of the season for season 11?
Yeah, I think you're right.
All right, Hail Mary formation. All 4 wide receivers to Quintez is right. Let's see if the line can give him time to throw the ball. He does, but it's not going to be a Hail Mary pass. He just throws it out of bounds, preventing INT from happening, and that'll be the half.
Yeah, they didn't give him enough time, and Johnson, honestly, probably did the smart thing there. Rather than rolling out and risking injury, might as well just get rid of it when you're under duress. But that was the Dallas Lobos that play happened against.
Oh, the Battle of Texas at the time, the Dallas Lobos, now the Seattle Tyrants. Yeah, that is the half. And look at the time possession. You said It felt like Houston had the time possession battle won.
And they
sure did.
And that's not true. Somebody in the truck is a terrible mathematician because there's no way we've had 29 minutes and 13 seconds of game action in this first half. So it hasn't been that lopsided. But with that being said, about 6 minutes for Queen City, 16 minutes for Houston. It's still 2.5 times more than what Queen City has had the ball. Caswell with just 28 yards, all on that one completion to Chris Curtis. So I mean, Queen City, it's almost like the 4-time champs are too good for this moment.
Yeah, they looked like they were sleeping throughout the whole first half, unfortunately for them. But DR Sim and Leroy Brown, they were motivated to potentially keep that winning streak for the home teams alive here in the preseason. As you mentioned earlier, no home team has lost so far, and it looks like if things don't change now, Houston will continue that trend.
And Hendricks had a good half for Queen City. I thought he was the most notable of the newcomers for the Corsairs. He got the interception, but even on that long pass, that tremendous pass from Johnson to the near side of your screen, Hendricks was in position. He didn't make the play, but he was in position. It was good coverage. He didn't let Sim get out of there, and then he made the immediate tackle. So really liked seeing what Hendricks can do against a Hall of Fame wide receiver out there in DR Sim in the first half. And then on the flip side, I liked what I saw to Quintez. I thought he really, commanded the show in the first half, and shows us that all that potential is still bottled up inside. He's just got to find what he had the first 2 seasons of his career.
And here's the kickoff, and he takes it to the 28-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Queen City. They'll get the ball now, and let's see if Eric Barker will let A.J. Castle actually throw it to his receivers. He got a rookie tight end, and I'm surprised they haven't looked his way yet. But it looks like it could be another handoff to Jared Willis. We'll see what happens here. And it is, and he runs to his right, able to avoid the first tackle and got 2 yards, what could potentially have been a 4-yard loss on that one.
Tanner Hendricks in the chat, and some story time with you, T-Roy, while it's 2nd down and 8. This goes to show you just how small the world is. I'll just tease it for right now. It involves a man from Virginia, Texas, and Idaho.
All right. And it's 2nd and 8. As Caswell making some adjustments at the line, at their own 30-yard line here. And we actually will see a pass, but Caswell running up the gut. He's known to be a running quarterback. Gets 3 yards to help make this a third and manageable after that play.
So, Nation's Best Football, our newest sponsor, connected us with his new podcast partner who's done hundreds of podcasts in sports media. He lives in Idaho. The podcast he did just before he interviewed me for the podcast that's going to be available July 5th, he interviewed a 51-year-old college football player who has 1 year of eligibility left from Texas Wesleyan University, which is where I work.
Wow. See, that's like almost the 6 degrees of separation, or that Kevin Bacon game. Everybody is all together on that one. But I can't believe a 52-year-old college football player. That means I need to stop slacking off here. I'm 37. I'm not playing college football. I need to join him on that. 1st and 10. Caswell fires it to the E-back, Jared Willis, who gets 5 yards. That was almost a dangerous pass, Cam, as we see the total here. He's now at 44 yards, A.J. Caswell.
And I want to go back to that pass delivered to Curtis that got the first down. That's the type of Queen City offense that we need to see more of, and that I think they're expecting out of Caswell this season. I think with Odom's departure, they're looking for Caswell to kind of retake control of the reins of this offense and become more of a passing offense rather than something that relies a lot on Odom's legs.
And we got a handoff on Willis, who was able to break the first tackle. They get stopped shortly after that by Weil. It's 3rd and 3. And maybe we'll see Caswell fire a pass here on this 3rd and short.
Tough to say. They're still trying to get Willis working. We haven't gotten to see a ton out of Willis, what type of player he might be. It's been bottled up. We saw him break a tackle or two in the first half. We'll see what they do.
All right, split backs behind Caswell. The tight ends on Caswell's left. He doesn't even get a chance to throw a ball because Mike Thatch Johnson was able to block Shed and make the sack and put an end to this drive.
Toot, toot. Mike Johnson blowing the whistle. Look at this destruction of that, whoever that was on the offensive line. I mean, he just got through him like, you know, like he was playing an 8-year-old on the offensive line. That was no competition. Great job by Johnson.
And here's a punt by Matthews on 4th and 6. And Fed gets stopped right away after that one. It'll be 1st down 10 for Houston on their own 17-yard line. But going back to the previous play, that's what D.R. Sim and Eddie Gage was looking for when they got both Mike Batts Johnson and Anthony Weil help bring the noise on the defense and make a very good defense even scarier now this season in season 13.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's exactly what they want to be seeing out of this defense. Posting a shutout at home right now.
1st and 10 for Houston on their own 17-yard line. It'll be a draw and stuff right away. It'll be 2nd and 11. Great job by Button. We already called his name a couple of times in the first half. He just making an impact here in the second half.
Aiden Davis rewatching that documentary wanted to know if beard cam or beardless cam is better. Tom Rahman said beardless cam looks 12 years old. At least somebody thinks I look young.
He said 3rd and 11 after that. He said beardless cam looks like he's 12 years old. Oh.
You ever rock a beard, T-Roy?
If I'd be lazy and decide not to shave, yes, I do, which is very consistent. I mean, when you're a bouncer, you got to look kind of rough, so.
Yeah, you got to look like you don't even give a crap about yourself, let alone anybody else that walks through there.
Exactly. Yeah, if I have a clean-shaven face, I look like I'm 13. 3rd and 11.
Oh.
And great job by Avery King on the pat down, put into this drive and potentially flip field position for Queen City.
You've got to catch that if you're King. And if you're Kentez Johnson, these are the type of throws that helped Houston to a 3-9 record last year. I mean, those throws you just can't make. You're deep in your own territory. It's 3rd down. You're trying to force something. And Fed's coming across the route. And, you know, looking back at the play again, Maybe Fed runs that route too far down the field. Maybe if he would have cut that route off and taken it more to the middle of the field rather than continuing to go up the field, I don't think that happens with Avery King. So may have been a little bit of miscommunication between quarterback and receiver there.
And now Queen City will get the ball on their own 47-yard line. Like, great field position for A.J. Caswell and his team. Talking about A.J. Caswell, he threw for almost 3,000 yards. He's just over 500 yards away from reaching 15,000 yards in his career. He should definitely reach that and more in this season. We'll see what happens. But right now, he drops back to pass.
Oh.
Incomplete.
He caught it.
Oh, he caught it. Oh.
Hacker. Welcome to the game, Stephen Hacker.
The guy who almost broke D.R. Sims' single game receiving mark against my team last season to get in the playoffs makes a great catch here.
Breaking news, T-Roy. You know where Kevin Durant's going?
No, where is he going?
The Nets.
That was rumored. I know there are certain people thought that he might go to the Knicks, but he's going to the Nets. That's going to make Brooklyn a very scary team. And weren't they planning to get Kyrie too?
Yep.
And we got a sack here. It'll be second down. Bash Johnson once again.
By the way, for all those listening out there, don't ever do what I just did in the regular season. It's the preseason. I'm just trying to keep eyeballs on the product. That's all.
Second and 13. 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Queen City has to get points on this drive. Build some momentum for week one. Caswell drops back to pass and fires. And it is a night. Oh, he did not catch it. It looks like Stephen Hacker had a chance to catch it, but unfortunately dropped it.
I can't wait to look at this replay here. I thought he caught it. Oh, and then right at the end of the play, watch Weil come in and swipe it. Swiped down on the ball and knocked it out of Hacker's hands as he was falling out of bounds. That was a tremendous play by Weil. You don't often see that, but at the tail end of the play, I mean at the last second, Weil doesn't quit on it. That was a great play.
And he showed you why he was a Pro Bowler last season, season 12, making great plays like that. And it's 3rd and 13. Caswell fires again, and it's going to be a house call for 6 as Stephen Hacker makes up for that previous play, and Queen City's on the board.
Stephen Hacker got loose. I don't know what kind of coverage that was. Obviously, shallow zone, and then Weil late to Hacker. And Queen City avoids the shutout, makes it a 7, potentially 6-point game, and they're right back in this thing.
Yeah, it looks like Garrison thought that he had help from Weil, but unfortunately did not. And Stephen Hacker was free to make that catch. He couldn't help it but take it to the house on that one. Ricky Matthews will be attempting the extra point here, making this a 6-point game. He makes it. And he does.
So I guess that ends the rumors of KD and Kawhi playing together, because I don't think Kawhi wants to go to Brooklyn.
Yeah, but if he does, it will be a two-headed team. But, well, here's the thing, though. KD won't be back until next season, though, because of that horrible injury he suffered in the finals. So he'll at least be off for 1 year. But here's Matthews on the kickoff. Short kick, taking that to 18. And Houston will have good field position at their own 35-yard line. And Cam, let me get your opinion on this. Queen City, they finished last season 6-6, making the playoffs, but unfortunately got bounced by Tallahassee in the wild card round. What do you believe Queen City has to do to get back to the playoffs and potentially win their 5th title?
Yeah, we haven't seen Queen City in a championship game for a couple years now, and I think what happened is that the league caught up to them, and I'll get to it after this play, although there's not much to talk about. Just another stuffing from Jeff Duffy. But I think Queen City just realized in the offseason that people know who they are, and they knew what their identity was, and it was successful there for many seasons, but it just kind of caught up to him, and Queen City needed to adjust with the times and find some new wrinkles in their game. So I think that to get back to dominance, they have to get back to being unpredictable.
Here's a pass by Quintez. He's lucky that wasn't picked off. Tanner Hendricks had a chance, making this 3rd and 11. Looks like Houston's offense is now on cruise control. They don't have the same intensity as they had in the first half.
Yeah, and again, another great play by Tanner Hendricks. I mean, he has just been in the breadbasket of DR Sim this whole game. He's really impressed.
And Quintez all alone here on this 3rd and 11. He drops back the pass. Just get the pass off.
Again.
Great job by Hendricks putting into this drive.
What a beast. Are you not entertained? Man, watching this guy play defense right now, he is just all over the place. Quintez needs to figure out where he is not and throw over there. We haven't seen Leroy Brown as involved as he was in the first quarter, and that's been a big difference in this offensive efficiency.
And it's now 4th and 11. Houston's going to punt. And there's a punt by Brian Adams. And he gets stopped short right there. Now, I guess the question of this season, will the SFL have a 4P? Will Alaska have the be able to make the 4P, win their 4th championship in a row, in spite of the fact they lost a couple of key pieces in the offseason?
Well, we're going to see how re-energized Max Paul got in the offseason and see if he can keep it up, but everyone's coming for his head.
And here's the pass, and it's picked off by, I believe, Anthony. Wow, that's his 2nd INT of the preseason. He had one yesterday's game, and he does it again as he basically climbed the ladder and sacrificed his body, making that pick, going to Stephen Hacker.
Hacker on a go route, but Caswell acts like it's a fade to the back of the end zone. He just kind of puts it up in the air, and it just like never came down until it got back to Wyo, and Hacker turns around and is thinking, what was that? Because Hacker had him beat, and he may have given Queen City the lead, and that's just a totally ill-advised play, and Wyo's there to clean it up.
Let me see if Houston can make them pay for that mistake. Quintez drops back the pass, steps up, but gets sacked. Didn't have enough time. Jeff Duffy with the tackle, and looks like that could potentially been a coverage sack as he hit a home run there. That celebration.
Oh, we're not going to get a replay. I was hoping for a replay because Duffy comes from all the way around the backside. It's his 5th tackle for loss in the game, but he had to run a long ways to get to Quintez Johnson's back. What a pursuit.
2nd and long here on Houston's 46-yard line. No backs in the backfield as Quintez dropped back the pass. Inside pass was caught by Leroy Brown, but it's still a 3rd and long, 3rd and 13 on their own 49.
4 minutes left here in the 3rd. Houston just a bit sluggish, playing out the stretch. Team's probably tired from all the preseason action they played. Each season, one team is the odd man out, plays a 2nd game. This season it was Houston.
And they basically played 2 games in less than 24 hours. Quintez drops back to pass, fires a dot to the Hall of Famer DR Sim, and then on Queen City's 33-yard line after that nice play.
When you're at this level of play, you just want to play ball as much as possible. But look at Sim, little stop, gets inside the hash marks, right past the official, using him as a little bit of a screen, and picks up the 1st down. That is veteran route running from DR Sim, as Johnson's nearing $150.
And better QB rating than last night's game. He's playing very well here as his inside handoff to Lauren Murray gets stopped right away. Luckily, get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 10 for Houston. Just under 2:50 left in the 3rd quarter. And Kentez drops back to pass, immediately fires it to Warren Murray, who puts one defender in the spin cycle before he gets game tackled. And it's now 3rd and 7 on Queen City's 30-yard line.
It's a big 3rd down here. Like to see maybe an out from Sim, a slant from Brown, and maybe get Murray out to the flat where Brown was originally. Try to space this out.
And he'll drop back to pass and fires it to his pumps fake, then fires it.
I think that
and unfortunately did not make the catch. Terry Hendricks once again on the pat down. Great coverage by him.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, what a beast. Look at this coverage. I mean, that is perfect defense on DR Sim. Look at him, just trailing him, not touching him, not all over his back. I mean, this is one of the best performances I've seen in the preseason, because every time Hendricks is in the picture, he's making a play, and if he can play like this in the regular season, this will be a game-changer pickup on the defense of Queen City.
And we got a 47-yard field goal attempt coming up by David Griffin to help Houston extend their lead. Here's the attempt by Griffin. Got it.
Nice. That makes it a 9-point game. Hey, T-Roy, Ashley Jackson says, you know, I think I want to do color commentary. What can Ashley Jackson not do, huh?
I know. She's definitely a voice in the chat. She has her own great podcast, and now she wants to do color. She might take over my job. I got to look out for her. She's kind of not happy with me taking Gary Malone back to Baltimore.
Oh, yeah, she's still probably holding that grudge.
Yeah, she is. And here's the kickoff by Griffin.
Nice return.
Yeah, decent return there as it gets to the 37-yard line of Queen City. A minute 58 left in the 3rd quarter.
Man, you're tough to please. Decent return out to the 37. What's a guy got to do?
Got to take it to the 50, man. I know this is the preseason, but Queen City needs to make some noise here, get some points on the board. But they got very good field position. Set. Hand off to Willis. Gets stuffed after he dangerously took a leap, but gets 5 yards off of that. I know there's some running back in Baltimore who knows not to jump for no reason because he'll get hit right away. At least Willis didn't get hit there on that carry.
Man, Lovelace looked like he was scrambling to the kitchen to put a heavy bag of groceries down on the stove. He just picked up Willis and put him down quick.
Second down, gets stuffed, and it'll be a 3rd down as inside handoff to Willis that goes basically for a 1-yard loss. And once again, Mike Fats Johnson with another tackle for loss.
Here we go, 3rd and 6, Caswell. Empty backfield here. Find the right man.
Drops back and fires it. Unfortunately, falls incomplete. Now, it's 6 for Queen City. Not the result they're looking for after a decent return, Cam.
Yeah, 3 and out after, golly, there you go again with that word decent. After a really nice return for Queen City. But, yeah, Caswell, a little pressure. That pass just off target. You know, it looked like without the pressure, he may have been able to deliver that to Curtis on the money because the defender was coming over late. But the pressure, either by Johnson or tackle or one of his teammates, was just too much in his face.
And Houston will take over on their own 27-yard line, but with the addition of Mike Fats Johnson, Chad Tackle, joining him on the D-line, those two is going to be a force to be reckoned with. And whoever faces Houston this season is going to have to worry about their quarterback getting sacked a lot. 52 seconds left. Kentez Johnson is back on the helm, ready to see if he can get some more points on the board. He's dropped back to pass and fires. Caught, but gets stopped right away. but it was still a first down. DR Sim.
Just getting across. See another look at it here. Everybody kind of dropped off into a zone right at the sticks, but Sim able to find enough space to move the chains, and Queen City's zone proves to be ineffective.
I'm kind of surprised Queen City didn't challenge on that one. It looked like he was kind of short, but they let this go as a first down. And Warren Murray gets the inside handoff. It's about 3 yards, and that could potentially be the end of the third quarter. Last play of the third quarter there. Avery King with the tackle, and he's been making a lot of tackles today. Great job by him. And everyone put your fours up. We're now in the fourth quarter. It's a 16-7 ball game. Houston leads Queen City.
DeMond Simeon will be doing play-by-play for Tallahassee and Tulsa coming up at 5, and then he also, we hope, will be joined by his co-owner, Eddie Gage, and I think the two of them might make history. First off, it's Eddie Gage's analysis debut, but it also might be the first co-owners to ever call a game together in league history. I don't think that's ever happened.
Yeah, owner and GM. I know that Hacker and Curtis, they are teammates. They made a call earlier this preseason, but yeah, owner and GM, I think this is the first.
Well, they're co-owners.
Owner, I said owner GM. I know Eddie Gage is gonna bring me on that one.
Oh man, he's probably sharpening the knife right now.
Quintez gets stopped here.
Duffy
Be 4th and 10. Nice job by, looks like that's Duffy making the sack.
What a beast. Jeff Duffy has been quietly, Duffy and Hendricks, man, they are just leading the charge, keeping this game close. And what's kind of disappointing for me, for Queen City, is they didn't pass much in the first half. Now we've seen a lot of passing from them in the second half, but we just have not seen Willis get going. I was hoping we'd see a little bit more out of him today.
And it's kind of hard for Jared Willis to get going when we have monsters on the D-line and in the linebacking core, just making sure that he only gets no more than, 5 yards at the most. But I'm sure Queen City will have something special for London in week 1. Next week in this 1st and 10 for Queen City at their own 29-yard line. No backs in the backfield for Caswell. 9:56 left in the fourth quarter as Caswell drops back to pass. Just avoid the sack. He's going to earn it. Great run by Caswell. Gets stopped after a nice 12-yard gain by Davis, but looks like Caswell just avoided sacks, showing his Steve Young type running skills there, Cam.
Man, I love that from Caswell. He spreads out the defense. There's only 5 in the box, nobody in the middle of the field. And when everybody backs off, everybody picks up a receiver, and nobody picks up the quarterback.
Caswell drops back to pass, fires to his E-back, Jared Willis. And unfortunately gets stopped behind the line of scrimmage for 1-yard loss. You see wild stats, 5 tackles, 1 INT. He's a beast, but Caswell makes sure that it can only be a 1-yard loss thrown into his check down there.
That's tough. Coming in, welcome to the broadcast, and apparently he's already over it. Boy, you're missing out.
And hands I head off to Willis, gets stopped right away, 3rd and 12.
Yeah, the preseason sluggishness is starting to get to both of these teams here in the second half. Just haven't seen a lot of breakaway. Unless Caswell's got another 12-yard run in his back pocket. Houston's got some momentum right now.
Caswell drops back to pass. Fortunately gets stuffed once again by Fats Johnson. What is the record for preseason? Oh, it's actually Chad Tackle. I take that back. I'm looking at 99, but it was actually 98. I was about to ask you, Cam, what would have been the preseason record for sacks in one game? Because Houston's just racking up the sacks now.
Well, we don't keep preseason records, but I think, how many have we had in this game? Maybe 10?
It seems like it.
Something like that. I mean, and that's pretty high for any game. Probably not the record, but I bet if they got to 15, they'd start sniffing.
Yeah, because I know this is something that DRCM would love to see in the regular season, that pressure on the quarterback. Houston's doing a great job so far in this game in comparison to last night's game. I mean, Logan Jack went over 100 yards rushing, had a long touchdown run. And unfortunately for Queen City, Jared Willis wasn't able to get anything going tonight. As we see Kentez Johnson drop back to pass, he looks and steps up, fires it, and gets pat down there. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And for those new to the SFL, of course, in the preseason, it's just a chance for us to test things out, make sure all the players are on the field, make sure everybody's situated in their correct positions, have all the correct equipment and skills and all that sort of stuff. And so once we get all that sorted out and kind of get the test week out of the way, the regular season kicks off with a bang, and you have full custom broadcast presentation and everything is all shiny and new.
Moore gets the hand off and gets stopped behind the line. Actually reached the line of scrimmage on Houston's 29, be 3rd and 10. It looks like Houston is just content to keep this 9-point lead here, Cam.
My match C saying, so Cam, are you enjoying your color commentary role? I'm enjoying being here with T-Roy. Let's put it that way. I'm enjoying listening to him call play-by-play.
Guess who again with the pat down? Number 20, Tanner Hendricks, who basically did a great job covering DRCM today.
I don't know what else to say about Tanner Hendricks without sounding like too much of a fanboy. He just had a really nice day, and Queen City's going to have a shot to make this interesting down the stretch. But you know, Sims had his moments today as well, but Hendricks is really showing what he can do in this new system, and he looks great.
And here's the punt. Good return to the 37-yard line. We'll see. Now, here's one thing, Cam, I'm a little bit surprised. They do got a rookie tight end, and they haven't thrown it to him yet at all. I would like to see them at least get him involved before the regular season.
Hashtag preseason. They don't know what they're doing out there, T-Roy. I think they let the graduate assistants call the plays.
Here we got Caswell dropping back to pass. He has to step up, but once again gets sacked. This time Carter Haley gets into the scoreboard here, doing his best Mike Fats Johnson impression there after that tackle.
What a mess. Both these offensive lines just looking rough against two very good defensive lines. Duffy, tackle, Johnson. There's just a lot of talent out there.
2nd and 13 for Queen City. 6:38 left in the 4th quarter. Caswell drops back to pass and fires at the Willis, but his momentum carried him out of bounds for a 2-yard loss. They're off not catching that one, unfortunately. It's now 3rd and 15.
Queen City's going the wrong way. You know, in a few hours, T-Roy, we will be done with the preseason. And you know what that means.
Yeah, regular season is about to start. My team will face Mexico City. We would have been the two people representing the next week's matchup if Ramos was able to make it. But what a catch by Stephen Hacker. And, folks, we have a ball game. Touchdown. 2nd touchdown today for Stephen Hacker. And we got a 3-point deficit for Queen City, potentially 2.
Picking up where he left off at the end of last season. Watch Hacker here. Garrison realizes it immediately. Oh, crap. I got no safety help. And that was rookie on rookie crime there from last season, both entering their 2nd seasons, and Garrison this time gets the brunt of Hacker. 1 possession game down the stretch.
Yeah, Stephen Hacker was straight out go route because of Garrison thought that he had help. We got an interesting ball game now. Ricky Matthews ready to kick the extra point. And it's good. 6:15 left in the game. Queen City has made this a ball game. It's 16-14 Houston.
And they did it early enough to where they won't need to onside kick. They can just keep playing defense, and this is where the pressure starts to mount on a guy like Kentez, who's looking for a bounce-back season. Just stay away from Tanner Hendricks and find some other open receivers.
And here's the kick, a short one. And good return taken to the 30-yard line. And here comes Kentez Johnson. Will he be able to lead them down the field and help extend this lead here? I know Warren Murray's gotten a lot of carries, but I'd like to see more passes to Leroy Brown, DR Sim, and the crew.
Or get Murray going.
Looks like they're going to get Murray going here. He gets the delay handoff. Rear pitch. I thought he was going to go to the left, but they decided to pitch to the right, and that's a 5-yard loss. Going backwards once again. Hanson with the tackle.
Kyrie Hasten, another rookie out there, and he makes a great move inside to cut off the lane for Murray. Hasten and Duffy, I don't know who's been the better combo today, Hasten and Duffy or Tackle and Johnson. Man, Queen City investing in the defensive line, and it's paying off so far.
Yeah, both team defenses are scary. Look out, SFL Nation, as Kentez goes back to fast. Fires at the Murray. Gets 4 yards. It'll be 3rd and 11. As we see the numbers here, Kentez with 165, Caswell 162. Difference, 2 TDs, 2 INTs.
It's kind of amazing that Caswell has caught up to Johnson, considering he threw like twice in the first half.
And now we'll see if Kentez can key up and catch fire, as the Mon like to say here on 3rd and 11. Convert this 3rd down. You got to be careful. He does get the pass off and just fell short. Good job. I think that's Sicario just reaching out, making an attempt to knock that ball down.
Kentez had to throw that a little earlier than he wanted to. He probably would have liked to lead Brown more towards the sideline, but having to get rid of it, Sicario was in the way. If Johnson would have had a little bit more time to let that route develop and get Brown further down the field, I don't think Sicario catches up to that and maybe drops it over the top. Nice play by Nacho down the field, and Queen City's got some life.
And here's Adams with the punt. Didn't call fair catch for the Queen City returner. It's going to be at their own 33-yard line when they start, and Queen City has a chance to take the lead here. The offense has caught fire as they got their receivers involved, especially Stephen Hacker.
That was a decent return, T-Roy.
I don't know. I like to see better. I got better expectations. I'm just saying. It's 1st and 10. Watch, Queen City's going to make me pay for it at the end of the season for that comment, as Willis gets the pitch to his left and stopped right away for a 3-yard loss.
What? I don't understand. Queen City passes almost this entire second half, and then when they have a chance to go down and get a game-sealing victory, they decide to pitch it to Willis for a loss of 3. This isn't the time to get conservative. And look at Houston loading up that left side. Don't run over there.
See what Caswell has in store. They're going to throw it. He drops back and pass, inside pass, and that's a bad throw as B.J. Luffus picks off the pass to the tight end, who I've been asking to get the ball for. There's the pick.
And that's the second time that Caswell has thrown an interception on a short little crossing pattern or crossing route, or just little in route for Queen City. It just has been well covered by the Houston linebackers, and it just hasn't been there all day. Caswell just trying to force the issue.
And Murray gets the handoff. Get a nice 5-yard gain here, as Houston looking to not only run out the clock, but probably add some more points and seal this game away here, Cam.
Yeah, they'd like a touchdown out of this, not a field goal. Don't give Queen City another opportunity to get some chances. And, I mean, it's just preseason But you never want to give a team like Queen City any sort of confidence that things are going to work out in their favor. The 4-time champs, people would like to keep them down as long as possible, I would imagine.
They'll give another carry to Murray, who unfortunately loses 1 yard and is now 3rd and 6.
All right, now it's up to Kentez, unless Houston's going to just rely on their defense, which I wouldn't be surprised if they did, but the one problem that Houston's defense had has been getting beat deep. You figure that Queen City is probably going to go that route this next drive. I'd like to stay aggressive here if I'm Houston.
All right, 3rd and 6. We'll see what Kentez can do. Split backs in the backfield. It's another handoff to Murray, who decides to go to his right, but gets stuffed right away by Avery King. This is going to be 4th down. We could have a potential 47-yard field goal attempt if Houston wants to.
This is no gimme, but Houston made a 47-yarder. Brown did on the last either last drive or a couple possessions ago. So it's not like he hasn't hit it yet today, but they're leaving the door open for Queen City to be the only road team so far this preseason to get a victory.
But Griffin has to make this field goal to make it difficult here. Definitely burned the clock before the attempt was made. Here's the kick.
Oh.
No good.
And now you give Queen City great field position at the 37-yard line to where they only have to go, about 30 yards or so. He missed it wide right. The ball never had a shot, and it nearly didn't even hit the net. Not a good kick there. And Queen City can get a victory on the road if Caswell can take care of the ball.
And Cam, I thought we were in Houston, not in Doak Campbell Stadium with right usually happens there. Bad kick, and Caswell has no backs in the backfield. Starting off 1st and 10. Fires it in the middle to the tight end, and unfortunately he gets a 1-yard loss, but they are in hurry-up mode now.
I like the play call, but didn't like the read from Caswell. He had some open receivers here at the bottom of the screen.
And Caswell drops back to pass this time, fires it to his right, got receiver, but good job by Eddie Gage climbing that ladder, knocking the ball away, making this 3rd down 11 as you see DR cheering him on the sideline.
I tell you what, that ball almost went right through Eddie Gage's hands and into the arms of Chris Curtis. That would have been a touchdown. I think it just clipped Gage maybe on the neck shoulder area, and it knocked the ball off trajectory.
Hey, sometimes better to be lucky than good. 3rd and 11, Caswell needs to get that ball away. He does. And it's pat down. It'll be 4th down again. BJ Lovelace with the pressure on Caswell there.
I can't believe I'm shocked they're going to punt this ball. They do have all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. But once again, Queen City with tremendous field position and can do nothing with it offensively. And really, Houston's only been burned by a couple of go routes by Hacker. Other than that, Queen City's offense has not had much to cheer about.
And here's Matthews with the punt. And the return does not weigh fair catch. That's Fudd. And Houston was starting their own 29-yard line. They got a chance to just melt this clock away. If they get a couple 1st downs and force Queen City uses their timeouts, it'll be a clean sweep by the home teams here in the preseason camp.
Well, remember, we got one more game left. Tallahassee and Tulsa coming up at 5. So we'll see if Tallahassee can turn things around for the visitors.
And Warren Murray had a chance to break that one tackle from Farrell Raines, but unfortunately could not, and he got stopped at the line of scrimmage, and we're at the 2-minute warning.
Now, if I was Houston here, I did not like that they stayed conservative on 3rd down on the last drive, but if I'm Houston on this drive, this is when I stay conservative. Just run it 2 more times, make Queen City burn timeouts, punt them deep, and rely on your defense. It's been so good.
Split backs behind Kentez Johnson, 1 receiver to his right, 2nd and 10. And hand off to Murray, who decides to spin and runs right into a defender for a 1-yard gain. Looks like that's Tim Jacoby with the tackle, making this 39.
All right, just run it again. Get Queen City to burn those timeouts. Don't do anything crazy.
But they got 4 wide receivers out on the field. Warren Murray, the lone back. But they will run it. Didn't fool Queen City at all. That's a loss. It'll be 4th and 14, but Queen City only has 1 timeout left.
Well, you know what? I don't mind the play call because on a 3rd down and long, when you go out there and 4 wide receivers, Queen City might be thinking, are they about to just win this game? Because if Houston gets a 1st down there and Queen City's got to burn another timeout, the game is basically over. But Houston instead runs it. Queen City not fooled, and they get one last shot at it.
And here's the punt by Adams. Sanchez on the return, be able to get to the Queen City 41-yard line. All Queen City has to do now is get in the field goal range, and they can potentially win it.
They need about 25 yards to at least get into plausible Ricky Matthews range here. I'm looking in Curtis's direction. It doesn't necessarily have to, you don't have to get it all on one chunk. 1:44 to go. You want to be the last team that has the ball, but he's been the most reliable possession receiver today.
Caswell drops back to pass and fires towards Curtis's way, but unfortunately could not make the catch.
Once a gunslinger, always a gunslinger, right, T-Roy? Just put it in there, just calmly. Just Caswell just, come on, we're going to win right now. He just throws it down the field, and the only benefit to Queen City is it stops the clock.
In 2nd and 10 here, and most of the receivers for Queen City has the height advantage over Houston, so I'm surprised Caswell doesn't have them climb the ladder on these passes here. It's a 2nd down and 10. He looks, fires it dangerously. Miscommunication there. Curtis went to the inside. Davis almost had a pick 6 and could have ended the game for Houston.
That's a great pocket for Caswell. One of the first times we've really seen a true pocket develop today. And yeah, you nailed it. Chris Curtis ran a route, then he decided to improvise to give his quarterback some help. By the time he made that decision, ball was already out of Caswell's hands, and the play broke down.
3rd and 10. This could be the ball game. If they don't convert here, Caswell drops back, looks, fires to his left. And another INT, and that has sealed their fate. Everett Garrison, the rookie from last season, comes up with a great play here, Cam.
Man, he took that away from Wyo. That could have been his 3rd. Sharing is caring. I mean, he snatched that. Wyo probably had the 2nd most likely chance of making that catch, just throwing a ball into traffic. Just not good offense from Queen City down the stretch here in the 4th quarter, and the Hyenas will get a chance to sit on this now that Queen City's exhausted their timeouts. So Houston should come away with their win. There may be about 5 seconds left if Queen City gets the ball back, perhaps, but otherwise, it wasn't pretty. Houston showed a lot of positive signs in the 1st quarter with Johnson's efficiency and his ability to spread the ball around. And then the defense stepped up in the 2nd half, and they really won this game.
D-line basically lived in the backfield of Queen City with a bunch of sacks, almost a dozen sacks there as Quintez takes the knee. It'll be 3rd and 13. Need to bleed that clock and punt the ball off and see special teams can take care of business on that one. And here's a huge positive today's game. Quintez Johnson, no pick 6s in today's game in comparison to last night's. A complete 180 from last night. Great job by him.
And he threw 1 pick to Tanner, but it was, I mean, it's just a great play by Hendricks. It wasn't necessarily a bad throw. So Queen City's probably going to get about 4 or 5 seconds left if they can get into Hail Mary range, then this could get real interesting. Otherwise, Houston's probably safe.
We'll see if the lineman can get some penetration and block this punt, because that'll make it even easier for Queen City to get this W here. Houston making sure they bleed that clock. Adams will be back to punt. Sanchez is the returner for Queen City. Look out. Oh, almost got blocked. And Sanchez makes a couple of moves, and they have just enough time for a Hail Mary.
Not bad. Sanchez, I mean, it doesn't matter if you burn 3 or 4 seconds in that situation, because you're only going to have time for one play anyway, so you might as well get some extra yards. You know, T-Roy, I didn't even consider the possibility of a block punt. That was almost pandemonium for the chat room, because that would have put him into field goal range instantly. Now, can a Hail Mary win a preseason game? Wouldn't that be something? One shot for Caswell against this great defensive front.
Yeah, the O-line has to give Caswell time so he can throw the ball, and he's not getting that time. He's getting sacked, and that's it.
Fitting the game would end with a sack.
Yeah, Fats Johnson, the one who puts this game to bed. Houston continues the trend of home teams dominating the preseason as they win 16-14.
I thought we might see this. I thought we might get a sack total. The time of possession is still wonky. Neither team, I mean, barely 200 yards of offense for either team. But still managed to put up 30 combined points, and maybe we'll get some sack totals here coming up.
Yeah, you see the tackles there. Hopefully, there's the sacks. Duffy has 4. Mike has 3. I actually thought he had more. We should see the highlights of Hacker be able to get this first touchdown of the game there. But, man, it seemed like Houston lived in Queen City's backfield there, Cam, throughout this whole game.
Yeah, and I think really the only difference in the game was Queen City not being able to get the ground game going in any regard. They spent the whole first half trying to, and then in the second half just totally went away from it. Willis finishes with 22 yards. It's no knock on Willis at all. It's not that Willis had a bad day. It's just we didn't really get to see a lot of Willis out on the field today. So it's going to be interesting seeing what Queen City can pull out week 1 against London, and how different they look from what they looked like today.
And Houston be able to get a win there, carry their momentum in here to the week 1 matchup. And Damon and Eddie will get the fly from Houston going up the Red River to call the Tulsa-Tallahassee game. That should be a good one to end the preseason, Cam. Final thoughts on today's game, sir? Well,
thanks to Elon Musk for making all of our light speed transportation happen for the SFL. We really appreciate all that. But, I thought some free agent additions made the biggest impacts today. Mike Johnson, Tanner Hendricks, really nice pickups for these two squads. And I think both of these teams will be better than they were last season.
And we also add Anthony Wild to that, too, because he had a great game today. But that's the ball game, folks. Thank you, Commissioner, for